Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? Oh, let's get this show on the road. Who we have here? I smell popcorn. How's it going, pretty lady? Finally got to see your face. Put a nice face to that beautiful comments, to those beautiful comments I get. I love you, Dana. It was awesome seeing you on the live stream, that is. Yeah, Dana and I, we made buttery popcorn last night. Bruh, my lunch break again. Yes, Pepe Le Pew. You're still working, are you? Nice to see you, man. Just be careful you don't fall off where you are. Thurston, how's it going? Andriel's in the house. My teeth okay? Zombies in the house. Nice to see you guys. Trolls are having fun. Boy, scenarios all the time in the backgrounds. I got a good community though, because my community keeps me posted when bad things happen, really bad things happen, and that's awesome. I think that is totally awesome. Harp is back up, by the way. Found out some important news yesterday. Nikki Garrett, 58, hello to you too. Welcome to the stream. Thanks a lot for taking the time to stop by, you guys. Vegan Realist is there. Did I miss anybody? I'm probably did. Dana Shiver, my precious pretty friend. Darla, my precious pretty friend. You're all precious and pretty, the girls, anyways. Donnie C's in the house. What's happening, man? Well, I got a double lunar wave, bro. Last few videos, so I was happy. And it just so happens that Harp is opened up again in Alaska. Yeah, in Alaska. There's an area. Yeah, because you see, Harp's not there, right? So there's an area in Alaska where there's a no-fly zone because there's electromagnetic radiation in the sky that they're testing. So they don't want any planes flying around there. So Harp is back up at it. So make a long story short, we're just theorizing and speculating. Who says those lunar waves that we are seeing is not some type of electromagnetic, static energy, something, frequency that's being tested in secret projects with Harp. So they're reopening. I didn't even know that they had closed. Obviously they didn't, but they tell people that they do. And again, that's just speculation. It's in the title, theories, right? So that way, anything we say here are theories. That way there's no danger for any fact checker, fact fuckers. I'm sorry, but they're bad, really bad. Friends channel, I can't put any ads on my live streams anymore because they pass off for medical misinformation, even though I'm not talking at all about anything sickness related, let's say. When is that going to lift, do you think? Are they going to lift that off of the internet? Are we going to be allowed to go back again to, talk about the doctors that we dislike and the theories we disbelieve in? It's really funny that they're doing that. I got the moon before yesterday was the full moon. So during the full moon, I was able to film it for only 10 minutes, but I did make a video. The audio is almost up. As soon as I get off of this one, it will be up for sure, confirmed between the two streams. You're not going to have to wait till the other stream to see the video. And of course, going to go back on the surface to look at some of my best UFO captures and still some phenomena on the moon that's not being explained and it's not being seen anywhere on any channel. So the video went up to about 20,000. I was still disappointed. I still hope that it continues to rise. But what happens here is the videos get to a certain point and they stop. Have you ever seen that? They stop. Even though, the years go by, they should go up. Even if they go up slowly, they don't. They stay stuck at certain numbers. So I'm at least happy. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to check that video out. And if you haven't, get on it after the stream for sure, because it was an amazing video of a double lunar wave. Absolutely incredible seeing that. It could be the sun that's being active in the solar storm. So it's pushing protons and everything through space. So you could see that the lunar wave is really a ripple in space and time. I think is the best thing that I can say as a theory, because you see that it's pushing the atmosphere. And that's exactly what we're seeing, that little as it goes over the craters, you see everything like rise up, like magnify itself. There is a strong magnification along that lunar wave. For some reason, it's showing the surface magnified, and I'm looking at it more and more slowed down. I'm going to make at least 2 or 3 more other videos with some findings in the lunar wave video. I'll be looking at that too. That's what I do, is when I catch stuff, I go back and I look at them and I continue to catch new things, of course. But if there's no new things in the sky, well, we go back to the everything that I documented. Only been here for 4.5 years. It's going to be going on 5 years. Actually, it's going to be 5 years of research in, is it August, November? I forget. I have to go back and look all the time. I think so. It'll be another, the 6th year of research is going to start in about a month or 2. So already 5 years completed here on YouTube, showing my work and stuff like that. We're still not at 100,000. We're approaching 100,000. I think it's really cool. And hopefully, maybe by next summer or ish, we could be have at least a nice group of 100,000 people that I will have at least been able to reach to look at the videos. So it's not too bad when you think of it. Razor burnt this morning. Electrical beard razor, shave razor. Had it for 10 years. I was overwhelmed. So I had to use scissors this morning. So if anything's botchy, don't wonder why. It's because it's me. Static Bats in the house. Hello. Hey, vegan realists. Mr. Christopher Rollins. Get your telescope. Get your telescope. Get your telescope. Get your telescope. Mr. Rollins is going to be getting a 14-inch telescope. Just giving you all a heads up to be watching. It's always fun when channels, on YouTube, invest in time and sharing videos and stuff like that. So 14-inch telescopes, I never interacted with anyone with a 14-inch telescope. And now I'm going to have my buddy. I'm going to have a bigger scope. I'm going to be able to do some tests and interact and see what he's seeing from comparisons with what I'm seeing. And it's a whole lot of fun. There's another world out there. There's a lot of things going by. Debris around Earth. A lot of people tell me, Bruce, sometimes it could be debris you're catching. 101%, there's going to be a lot of debris. But by analyzing them, and we could see them together in the videos, a lot of the differences of the characteristics of what I'm capturing. Like that long rope, I call it a rope in space. It's just something bending around. It opens up, it closes up, it opens up, and it's spiraling around. I've caught that a couple of times. So there is debris around Earth for sure. But it's that we're looking at everything without understanding, the depth or anything, because we're in space. So when we see a light going by, we could say, wow, there's a light over my house. But in reality, that light could be as far out as the sun. And I'm not talking about the ones that I'm seeing over the house. But in reality, it's always hard to decipher what the distance is of the objects that we're capturing. So is it in deep space that I'm capturing debris, or is it around Earth? Most likely it'll be around Earth. Ralph Winter. Hello to you, man. Nice to see you. More news coming about magnetic ID. Yeah. The control. Yeah, we be careful not to use that word, man. They just took me down the ads, and guaranteed they'll take the ads off for that. I say VAX for the vax, but the control, no vax, you can't even pay your taxes and you lose everything. Yeah, that's what they said. And when it comes down to that, well, I'm going to stand up to the system there. I'm going to tell them this, and I'm going to lose my house. I would lose my YouTube channel. I would lose, anything and everything that I have, if it got to that point, to stand up against the system. That's all it takes. And it only takes a handful of people to stand up to cause a lot of stink against the elitists. And guess what? USA, very disappointed with the American government. Good news. There's going to be an Arizona audit. So it's out of the bag. The elections were lost, and it's going to come out. And when it comes out, people are going to be mad. Not us, not the smart ones. There's a lot of people that are going to be mad. Whether you like or dislike a certain president, I'm sure you still want the legitimacy of the elections not to be tampered with, not to be manipulated by machines or by political bullshit that they're bringing up now. I mean, it's just literally bullcrap that they're bringing up. Mr. Floyd Stats, thank you very much, man. You're gonna like the next video, guys. Got some nice footage of the full moon, even though there was a lot of clouds. So we're at, excuse me. We're going to be filming through the clouds, actually, because there was clouds the whole time. The Celestron telescope looks right through the clouds. Was Einstein a robot, a biological robot? You know why I'm thinking that? You got to wonder why they keep brains of certain people after they die, like they kept the brain of Stephen Hawkins, or Hawkingkoff. Put him in the ISS space station, put his brain up there with his genetic DNA code, human code that makes him who he is. I was talking with with a family member this morning and about that, and we were finding that interesting. And the family member says, that's really interesting, because I had mentioned if Einstein was a secret project, it's a theory, right? It's a question. I believe that for those of you who know who I was imitating, you get a good laugh. But what if Einstein was a biological DNA reproduction, like a clone of, a human being? When he died, they would maybe hold his brain. This is a theory session, so don't worry about it. I'm not going nuts. But you got to wonder the fact that, because, all this big hype about people saying, aliens, when we see an alien, it's going to look like that. I'm open-minded that an alien could look like that too and have a crown like us, right? Like have skin around a skull just like our skull, the same. Maybe noses or ears could be different. We have different races here on Earth. We have races that have bigger noses, smaller noses, bigger ears, bigger earlobes, small earlobes. A lot of racism in that comes into that when people are judging about the differences of people. I think that's what happened. People started finding differences, and then the elites decided, well, who's the dominant race? Let's find out which of the race are better, and maybe manipulating us too. If we are scientific projects, which I have a very, very hard time thinking that we are not. I'm sorry, that they're trying to create us in the image of a God that was perfect. Let's give or take what we're saying here. We're speculatively speaking, and you bring religion and everything into that. That's what's holding the secret. So you have the big associations that are running the world and ruling the world are the ones that are actually hiding everything. That's what I think. The elites are the ones that are actually hiding everything, and if they're experimenting with secret projects on humans without them actually knowing, like we'd never know. They would put up a bum identity for Einstein, saying, he's born in Germany and then he went over to the US, and then, we could believe anything that they write in, and we would have no way of being able to, find out otherwise. It's just interesting to me that imagine them doing secret projects on human beings. We know they're doing the hybrids, monkey hybrids. I mean, how morbid is that? Think of it, what's going on. So they must have, do they have any winged people? Are they trying to put wings on people so we'll be able to fly too? Is this what they're doing? It's an abomination of anything and everything that represents God in a positive way. That's for sure. Tell ya. Afternoon Brews, Craig 1971's in the house. Eric Von Reich, guten Abend, Forel. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Monica Kelly, thank you very much, Monica Kelly. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for taking the time to check it out. And thanks, obviously, for the generous contributions. I love you for it. Annette Cussey's here. And I'm going to scroll up because I missed a whole lot of people. Mark Matheny, I think. USA Patriots in the house. Happy Friday to you too, man. Wanda Queen, are they seriously threatening to take our homes? Good grief. If it gets to that, I know that we're talking about it, but if that's what they're really going to do, ouch. We're going to have to stand up, y'all. Seriously. Hey, Mark. Mark, Beyond Bacon Biblical. Thank you very much. Salut Bruce. Oh, est à français, je suis désolé. Beyond Biblical from la Grande Prairie. On a du monde de la Grande Prairie. Merci Marc. Très apprécié mon frère. Merci d'avoir pris le temps de passer. Why I got the Paint Your Wagons movie theme song paired with Christopher Rollins, I really don't know. Made me laugh internally just now. Carlos Skywatcher's in the house. Nice to see you, Carlos. Elroy Shredding, hello. Speed and trajectory will let you calculate how close to Earth an object is. Yes, absolutely. That's what they say. Yep. All the ways and tools and tricks of the trade to find out the speeds of objects, to find out how far the objects are, how close the objects are by the intensities of their lights. Moonbird's in the house. My mom keeps telling me no, Moonbird. She sees the comment every time Moonbird writes, Bruce is the chosen one. She calls me up. She goes, you're not the chosen one now. I said, well, you never know. We'd never know, probably. The chosen one, do you believe me? The chosen one here on Earth would not know that he has a job to do. He would just have to come from him. That's what I see. That's how I see it. Annette Cussey's in the house. UQ8. Hope you got some of the full moon this week. Yes, it was amazing. Disclosure today. I effing hope so. It's today. Yeah, I got the moon. It was a horrible night. I think I got 7 to 8 minutes of the moon without, maybe 10 minutes before the clouds came in. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to slow down the 3 angles. This is what I do. When I film the moon, I go and it's really popcorn. When I film the moon, it goes, I film the top, the north. I'll film the south side, the east and the west side, and I zoom up on the outer edges. But there's no elevation right now because we're looking at a full moon. And the full moon sounds funny, but it doesn't show any elevation, right? The highest point on the moon are the Apennine Mountains, just 10 or 12,000 feet under Mount Everest as for a height. And we don't see the mountains like they're elevated. A couple videos back, I showed you an amazing Terminator line of the Apennine Mountains where you can really see some elevation, but it still looks like a bit of ice cream in a bowl there. It doesn't look like much. I can imagine with the bigger telescope, we'll start seeing more and more the elevation. That'll be exciting too. Definitely. Floyd watched the video. Thanks, Floyd. Appreciate that, man. We have Techno Chippy. Hi, guys. Thank you. I just figured out it's his chair. Oh, did you see? Were you wondering what I was sitting on? You think that was my butt? Razor burn on legs, always. Okay. You shaving your legs, Annette, while watching me? Chinese supposed to have own structure on moon. Do you see that? Yeah, Elias, I see structures. It would be where they're landing. A little scary in Sinus Iridum or around that area. But there are confirmed. I confirm seeing squares on the moon. Perfectly geometrically shaped squares. I saw a perfect circle. It's impossible that all that crap's been built. Absolutely impossible. You don't need to be an archaeologist to understand what you're looking at. It's clear enough. The work's presented clear enough that people understand it. And yeah, I show some of the structuring on the surface. There definitely is. Is it China? I don't know. I'm telling you, Alias, I'm worried about China being the ones flying around with their lights around Earth. I think people are saying, oh, an invasion. No, I don't know. Speculatively speaking, we have no proof. And people are thinking it's an invasion what if it's China? Again, we're just talking theory here, but still, it's a little scary. I can't wait to get the video up for you all. Patty's in the house. I can cut your hair, Bruce. I'm a barber. You know, I got one of everything here. I have a police officer here that can protect me. I have military guys that come here. They can protect me. I have my barber. I have my fans for music. I have my fans for everything here. It's pretty cool. It's a go-to place to get everything done. I'm a bit of a special person. I cut my own hair, always have for the longest time. Not when I was younger, obviously. I cut it better than them because, yeah, I can cut hair too. That's something I do, but wouldn't want to tell that to the trolls. They might like me even better, especially some of those there. Some of the Tinkerbells. What do you want me to call them? Good vibes sent to everyone in here today. Floyd, thank you very much, sir. Dana Shiver, join the Moon family. Click. Thank you very much, Dana Shiver. Dana's going to have to come on with me and talk now. Come on here. You know what we'll do, Dana, is we'll come in on and have a chat a couple of days, and I'll get a whole bunch of butter just leaking down on my green screen and back, and popcorn or something. Dana was on Cindy Lou Who's channel, and they came on and did a live chat and talked, and she showed some videos and some captures, as she often does. Some people, when they go to her channel, we had a big mix-up last time on Cindy's channel, and like I said, I was serious when I said that. Cindy, the best thing that she did was when there was other trolls there, or she wasn't sure who I was, she took the wrench away from me. So that was perfect, because if it wasn't me, could have destroyed the channel. So there are some things that the mods can do. I'm going to see it obviously in my notifications, but still, it's a good test sometimes to have even some of the trolls have wrenches. But and the sad part for me is that the trolls here, like the ones that I got rid of this week, lots of them, they wind up on Cindy's channel, Darla's channel. They wind up on all your channels there, and they sort of blend in and cause stinks here and there. And it's funny that they're that way, right? Annette Blackman, hello Annette. We have a second Annette here. That's when you know you're getting popular. We got two Annettes. Thanks, Annette, for stopping by. Video coming up right after this, and it's just a little piece of audio at the end that I have to put in, and I'll be getting that up between the streams for sure, for those that want to see the full moon. And there's a whole lot of footage. The footage from a couple days before, too. I didn't look at it entirely. There's still a lot of things that we can look at. Got to go back and look to be sure I'm not missing any UFOs. UFOs on the moon are different layers. The ones close to the surface are near impossible to see. They're tiny, tiny, tiny billowing lights. But sometimes we see a large light. I'm not lying. Go on YouTube, and when somebody says that they got a UFO going over the moon, over the surface of the moon, it's always an object that seems to be far enough from the moon. You can tell when it's close or when it's not. Not always, but often you can tell if it's close. It's following the surface. The ones that I show are going around the craters. I got some going in the craters. And somebody asked me this week, is it still going on? Well, you see, I get chances to see the moon. And when I film the moon 3 to 6 times a month when I can, I'll go into the footage and I'll go see if there's lights moving around. So there's a lot of time going by between the captures. So of course, if this was a one-time thing, well, you'd think that I wouldn't capture so many lights or events. If it was a one-time thing and that there were actually hidden on the moon, I wouldn't see that. You're not going to tell me NASA is deliberately in the middle of Sinus Iridum or right beside Copernicus crater going to have 3-4 lights interacting with each other. Everyone would see them. You'd have big telescopes that would see them, and some people ask me, well, why don't the big telescopes and big observatories talk about what they see and stuff like that? It's because they see it all, and they're not going to talk about it. A big telescope's not just a guy in his backyard. A big telescope costs a lot of money to operate and to maintain, so they're making money. They're doing projects, secret projects. They're looking for NASA. Is what I believe. I believe NASA hires people to track objects in space. That's quite simply. They can go to my channel and to everyone's channel and to look at what people are capturing without even mentioning their name. So they would never have to mention my name if I had some findings. They probably wouldn't. But I believe it's something that they want to remain hidden. I don't believe that they're going to, not deliberately. They wouldn't deliberately talk about the moon unless it was something very different. When they say New World Order, you got to wonder, it could be that the world is, going to be a new good design. It would be nice to think that, to feel that, right? In reality, that's what the ideal was of the New World Order. Did you know that? I know a lot of people aren't going to believe me, but the ideal was supposed to be positive. It's that the elitists brought that negatively. It's a manipulation of power, right? So children in the United States that have, that are dying, that have leukemia, the Wish Foundation, not that I want to bring it up. If your kid is not fully vaccinated, he will not be able to participate in the Wish Foundation. So what do you think of your government after I tell you that? If that's not enough to make you not want to pay your taxes after hearing that, I don't know what is. And in particularly the United States of America, there's something wrong inside of that government right now. There's something majorly wrong. But good news coming out all the time. Arizona audit. You got to look that up if you all want to get a really good laugh. And I heard, and again, this is just theory. It's Flynn that said it, or Flynn. The elites are going to be preparing something before that Arizona audit. Speculatively speaking, is what he was saying, and except him, it wasn't speculative. Me, it is, because I'm not going to declare anything here. It's just a channel, but eyes open on some of the stuff that is going to come out. So July is the month, I think. If we make it there to July, there's going to be, excuse the expression, a shitload of information coming out, and not just about la divulgation, not just about alien disclosure. I think maybe China has to do a lot with alien disclosure. I think they're not done doing an investigation. I know for a fact an investigation is being done. Many associations, many agents are working all around the clock, all around the world to save the world. You'd hope that it's to save the world and not take it down. People are waking up every day, though. I see it a lot. That's sort of a good thing. Different generations, different ideas. We're brought up differently. It's time for us all to get along. The elders with the young people. If the young people can put their phones down. And if the elderly people can take less time at church, and then trying to show you that we all have our own crutches, right? No matter what age we're at, we all have the same desires, wishes, and dreams. All of us, no matter what the race, what the color of your blood. Seems that we're all looking for happiness. You'd think. Oh, I don't see Cindy. People are talking to Cindy. I did not see Cindy. I didn't block you. We have Leroy Mayer. How's it going, man? Hello, Deutschland. Thank you. Germany in the house. Got a couple of friends from Germany. Great people down there. Because the Nazis aren't in Germany anymore. They're down here. This is what's going on. Yeah, thanks again, Elroy Shredding. Absolutely right. Speed and trajectory. Let you calculate how close to Earth an object is. Absolutely. And it's exactly what I try to do and calculate myself. Scrolling down. Moonbird. Get my mom mad again. USA Patriots. I said hello to him before. Georgia's recounting as well. Excuse me. Georgia hiccups. Georgia's recounting as well. Yeah, thanks. Yes, I know. Ooh, it's exciting. Listen, I'm Canadian, and I was overwhelmed when that happened to you guys down in the States. Those of you that are down in the States, that's something atrocious to happen. That somebody comes in with without a legitimate way, like not in a legitimate way. And again, just theory. That we're not talking about we're not Elmer Fudd. We're not talking about a couple of 100,000 views that were taken. 10 million. I mean, this is something crazy. So the government's going to want to prepare for protests and whatnot and everything. So that's the thing. If someone's going to protest, but they have some truth to say, they're not going to say it. It's just to keep us, shut up. It's just to keep us shut. In reality, they don't want us speaking up or talking for ourselves. It's sad. Hey, Bruce, greetings from Netherlands. Nice to see you live again. Thank you very much, Twister NL. Appreciate that. Ed's World's in the house. Hello, sir. Working hard, man? How's it going, brother? We have to watch our words here. We have to keep this channel safe. Thanks, Annette. Yeah, we got to talk through codes and stuff. Very careful when I talk about vax or whatever. Try not to mention it too much. They take the ads off the video, unfortunately. I basically told you. You all know the governments are a bunch of big-ass liars anyways. So whether they cut me off or not, at least you all know now. It's what I say. Thanks again, Monica Kelly. I think the odds are coming too slow. Yes, I know they're waiting for something, man. I don't know what's going on. They're allowing the odds to make people feel like they're winning to kill time. Yeah, exactly what they are doing. That's true. Melanie Lecomte, can we recount last Trudeau election? Yeah, you tell me about it, Melanie. Tu as absolument raison. Sûrement, là, ils ont fait la même chose ici. They probably did the same thing here. Do we have those machines for the elections here? The machines that I'm not going to name that they were using in the States. I wonder if we use those machines here. Big corrupt world. Isn't it horrible? Everything's coming out. Hopefully everything comes out, or some of it. That, enough to wake people up to realize, big-headed Martian. I did not see him yet. Hello. John Krieg, good evening, Bruce. Nice to see you. Good evening to all. John from Ireland. Thanks a lot, man. My good friends in Ireland. Another bucket list area where I'd love to go. Definitely. All the castles and landscapes. Laurie Jean, thank you very much for being here, Laurie. Nice to see you. Koala enthusiast. A happy frizzle dizzle, y'all. How's it going, koala enthusiast? On my mind, you lose nothing but made a gain in truth. Yeah, well said, Alias. I think the people in power are making AZ hold back the details. 100%, Annette. That's 100%. And the worst of it, the fighting is going on, as much on with the Democrats as with the Republicans. The blues and the reds. We'll say the blues and the reds. There's a fighting between inside the Dems, the Democrats, anyways, I'm going to say the Democrats. Not because maybe democracy's not good. It's because the people there are not good. Got a bunch of wahoos like Kamala Harris that goes, visit the border. What are you talking about? What a moron, eh? I'm so embarrassed she's from Montreal. But then again, she didn't come from here. She wound up here. I don't think she's from here. Just theory. Don't depend on anything I say here, right? Burns in the house. How's it going, my friend? I never say your other name because I'm always afraid that people change their name sometimes, maybe to get rid of another certain name, so I never bring it back up. But I know who you are, Burn. Mr. Q. Oh, that sounded bad. Not QAnon. I meant Mr. Q. Don't hear about them anymore now, do we? BLM's on the way out. Terror group. Hi, Bruce and all. Mark Mathany's in the house. Part of the fallen tempered with the human race. Listen, it's a very interesting subject, Monica. I really believe that humans were manipulated. The DNA was manipulated, whether it be 1,000 years back. Maybe aliens came down here and transformed us from Cro-Magnon people into humans. gave us a shaving on the sides of our skulls, and you got to wonder what the hell, when they say evolution is what? Is it the evolution of the operations that they're doing on humans, or is it the evolution, natural evolution of time over time for a race to change? How long does a race have to be on a planet to start evolving and changing when you think of that? But it just makes no sense that we would have a book here called the Bible that would hold all the information of God, and then, I'm sorry, it's just so stupidly conniving that they added in that book that if anybody changed the word of God, blah, 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 10 times folds, gonna kick your ass, and then you won't have no more pudding. Okay, whatever. It's funny that that's all written in the book. It's like we're living in this. You understand now when somebody says we live in a matrix? Do you sort of understand the idea of living in a sort of a game, right? A lot of people don't understand that context in that way, and they see it more of like a digital game. It's not. It's all real and physical, but it's a real physical illusion. So the illusion is a whole lot of physical objects that is creating the illusion. So the illusion is physical. It's not just a hallucination or a mirage. There's real objects. We're on a real something, Earth, whatever it may be, with a spaceship, Earth, I don't know. Lots of theories on it. But when you start thinking outside of the box like that, and you venture yourself onto those theories, it's fun. It is so fun. I come up with so many theories. Some of them could be bogus. Why not? But that's how science was created. Science is a theory. Everything in science is theoretical. All those equations, that Newton in 1666 and Albert Einstein and theories and relativities and theories of relativity and all that, it's all speculation. It's all theoretical based on an idea of gravity that's around Earth, which, by the way, they are still studying and trying to understand gravity. Nobody knows what gravity is. We just have some freaking amazing theories about the theory of all, right? Crawlface talks a lot about that too. The theory of all, but understanding something. He's always, like Crawlface was always saying on his video when he was talking about this, there's a source to everything, right? I don't know if he said necessarily everything, but there's a source of something if we're looking for, like, where are the ghosts coming from? Where's the universe being held up by? Like, where are we, right? We saw we're in this large universe. Yeah, but the universe is going to be somewhere too. And the area that holds the universe is also going to be somewhere. So it's like, from big to small. Those little Russian decorations where you take a little person out, smaller, smaller, smaller. That's how it is. Everything can be understood by looking at the world around you. Look at everything that was built. Look how everything's built, how we interact, the ideas, the theories. It's complicated, actually. It's hard to come to a conclusion of where the hell we are, why we're here and stuff. But was there a manipulation in the creation of humans? In other words, are we natural or were we created? I get religious people get mad at me and say, well, you were created by a god. Well, that's a freaking manipulation. No, we were manipulated, whether it be by the ones that believe it's a god or not. I'm neutral in this. I'm talking theory. I believe in God, just not the same God as everyone else. Probably, I have a different ideal. Like many of you, we all have different ideals of God. God's energy. Or some people, it's God's the universe. I hear a lot of people say that for them, God is just the universe, and I like that. I like that theory. Indian stories and myths and beliefs and stuff. All these different cultures that have a very similar story, though. It's scary. You look at all the cultures of what they think is out there and stuff like that. It comes down to the conclusion that every time somebody starts a new religion, it's because they change one silly thing. They add something or they take something out. They disagree with a certain other culture about religion. So I think religion is there to make people fight. Now, the positive of religion, of course, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, religious people, I get it. Being good in life and stuff. But it's important that the Bible doesn't manipulate you or run your life. You have to use common sense and good judgment. It's not because they say that, like in the Quran, I'm not even gonna get into that. Burn the freaking book, telling people to boil people that are not, a certain faith and stuff. Listen, open your eyes and ears. If you're in a certain religion and they're thrashing other people, get the hell out of it. Wake up. It's manipulation to control your life. You have to go to church every Sunday. You get a little bit of money to church every Sunday. And that what that does is it keeps you busy and it keeps you poor and it keeps you working for the sadistic reason, the elites. And that was all integrated in the system to make things look like it's just you and I, the people that are here on Earth interacting and stuff. Money, look at the big associations. Look at all the big associations like Procter and Gamble. Oh, isn't that funny that they wind up with Johnson and Johnson? That they wind up with making the for your arms. Imagine that. Why? Because they're the devil. They're the ones with the 666 in their logos and signs. They're the ones making products that everybody uses. Think of it. Toilet paper, Q-tips, Vaseline, everything that's intensive care and all that everyone uses, but like industrial quantities of. It's all the elites that are making their fortune with that. So they have frontal divisions, frontal organizations, subdivision accounts for money and stuff like that. They pass off inaperçu. Nobody sees them. And the association that you're supporting, that you maybe love the certain product, thinking of projects, it could be that, we're supporting the elites. There's lots of, what was it? Let me go see. I want to show you something. Actually, grab a little coffee at the same time. I want to show you something. Lots of the companies. Here's one company. They'll have, maybe I'm losing it, but they have Masonic signs anyways in all of their things, and a lot of people don't see them. But you'll see things like this at the back, which is basically, this is just a blender, a grinder, right? Coffee grinder. The company, this is Braun Company. So that means these companies that are running and ruling the world, they have all the markets to everything and anything that comes out, whether it be a pandemic and they have to form some type of healing tonic, let's say, they get dibs on all of that. So they get the money, income, intake, and everything. It's sad. It's scary. I wanted to focus my channel also on talking about the medical, and I didn't, because I'm told that you can't. You just can't. Nobody can. You can't talk about medicine online. Yet there are channels that are doing it, but there's something wrong about. There's something unfair about that online. The freedom of speech being taken away and stuff. That we got to keep the freedom of speech. We can't ever let them, shut us up. They can shut us up here and stuff like that, though. But imagine telling a kid who's already sick to get the doubled up in his arm if he wants to be able to go to Walt Disney, because Wish Foundation is like, wow, thank you, Wish Foundation. So you see, speculatively speaking, I wouldn't support the Wish Foundation. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of flack from saying that, but what do you want me to say? It's the world's being run secretly, and what people think is positive is negative. What people think is up is down. It's very, very, it's shocking when you wake up, like a lot of you have with me. You wake up and you see for real what's around you. It's scary as hell. Thanks to everyone who donates to this channel. I wish I could too, but I can't. So thank you all. Thank you, Wanda. Appreciate that, my friend. Well, you're contributing. Definitely, Wanda, if you're here, and that's the amazing part. The people that come that can contribute and give. I never ask. I don't ask. I'm here. I offer my findings and the work that I'm doing, and people that appreciate it help me the way they can, and it's greatly appreciated. I'm not going to stop doing the work even when money gets low, because this is my full-time job. I don't have any other job. This is totally full-time. That's what it's all about. Transparency. Yep. Not about religion, politics. Yep. Saving the children. It is about saving the children. And people got to realize that they're going to be aiming for the teenagers. That's what they're going to be doing. They don't want to get them all, Nuremberg. For those who don't know about those trials, if you go and look at the Nuremberg trial and what was said and the laws, the new laws about doing experiments on humans, well, they talk about it in there. That was the safety threshold. After that, there was no more manipulation. But what happened is that it's never stopped, and it's always been done in hiding. What would you have to do if you weren't allowed to operate a big association and doing DNA research or manipulation and secret projects? You'd have to hide yourself. Definitely. You're going to need funding. So you're going to need a frontal organization with a bum product, or maybe a real product to sell certain things to attract people to your company. That's what everyone is doing. What the government doesn't want you to do, they're probably doing it. They don't want you to not pay your taxes and lie to the government. Well, they're probably lying to you. Yeah, same thing. It works both ways. Father not. What is big-headed Martian? A couple of comments I'm seeing. I'm still not understanding what's going on. Father not. Don't understand. Question mark. Mark Matheny. Nice to see you, brother. We got Patty here. Thundermind. Would the announcement by NASA about the inbound supposed dwarf planet, account for the waves in space and time in your observations? I'd say 100% guaranteed. I would say that. And again, and it could be something that's in the solar system that's very large that's coming in. And we saw more than one wave. Definitely the ripples in space and time, whether it be a ripple in space and time or a ripple in an ocean. A clear ocean is definitely something going on. That's pretty crazy. And for me, my guess would be that the sun, or what you said, a large object in the solar system, or here's another one, Harp, or a force field around the moon. That's the one I want it to be, because it would be so effing cool. Imagine letting somebody enter the moon's atmosphere and descend to the moon by moving over an electrical force field of vibration, frequency, and energy. Let some vehicle come onto the moon, and then that line will go back over and close up and seal up, for the camouflage. Maybe some people tell you, Bruce, the moon's a hologram. I'm not going to go as far as saying the moon's a hologram, because if it was a hologram, I don't understand why they would integrate in the holographic video for some reason and have people being seen flying on the moon. The ideal of a hologram would be to hide the surface. From my understanding, nobody on the moon is hiding anything. So that could mean that humans are not interacting with the people that are there. It could be a breakaway civilization. They could be as human as you and I. Now, that's the scary part, because if they're in cahoots, if there's elites, shit-stained elites on the moon, like the stains that we have here on Earth, running the Earth, they're only stains, I promise you. Only idiots. It's a manipulation. Some of these people don't even have education that are running the world. They don't need the education. They have the money to be able to do what they want with it. Unfortunately. But who says the moon people, let's call them the moon people, there's someone there, what would happen if they wanted to invade Earth, but they were human like us? there would be a problem, because then they could land on Earth, stick on a shirt, jump in a truck, and just drive around, right? And not get caught. I think it's a perfect movie, imagining how aliens could come here on Earth by blending in with us, right? The V, remember that episode, The V? It was a series, a show of aliens that were here. They used to eat rats. They were reptilians, actually. Do you remember that? It's a bit odd, eh? That they made them out to be reptilians. Do you remember that? The V. They had reptilian skin. Here, when they would get, their face would be pulled off, and then the mask, you'd see that they have green, that they were all green underneath. And those were ideas to make people wake up, maybe, of the possibility of, what's out there and stuff like that. It's ridiculous that all the movies are based on information, and like, how does that work? Is it like Lucas is going to make Star Wars, so what? He gets access to some private information, and then he makes it into a movie or something? I think these people are all part of these secret societies and groups and, sects or whatever that are ruling the earth, whether it be the whatever, Freemasons, whatever, I tend to think not the Freemasons, but the Masons, right? Because Masons lodges just don't want you to be doing Freemasonry. They want you to be part of a lodge. They want you to contribute the money to the fraternities there. And some people can get caught and get in trouble. Einstein was just another sock puppet. Yep. Used by the elites to push their false science. That's why have the LHC at CERN. Yep, absolutely. CERN. Yeah. That was a present from India that gave that to CERN. Why? Why did they build a giant statue? Right? Shiva. Well, if Einstein was a secret project and his brain was manipulated for him to be smarter, I believe it. I see the corrupt elites trying to genetically change someone, adding biological body parts to him, robotic or droid parts to it, to try to make this being better than anything else or anyone else on Earth. So when they die, it's only normal that they're going to go back and get his brain, right? Like they say that they went and got his brain. They got Hawking's DNA and brain in literal brain in the ISS space station. Why? Well, because, that brain's going to wind up to the elites that they're doing human testing or whatever, and they're going to put that brain back into somebody else. Maybe there'll be a transplant they'll try to see, and then try to reanimate the person. I believe this is always going on. It'd be morbid for some people to say, oh, that's so morbid, thinking that. Well, say to yourself, did you see all the stars out there? Could you imagine how many bad things could be out there? Not just good things. Can you imagine how much evil could be out there in the universe? Scary. Really scary when you think of it. Commander Keen, do those aliens standing behind you not creep you out? No, they don't, actually. They don't know. I'll be honest with you. It used to. They used to. The ideal, yes. At night, when I'm doing my research, I had a tendency of looking behind me to be sure he was still there. And it looks pretty real, But I think it's the understanding that I'm coming to have now is different. My ideal is different. I'm not in that movie alien idea thing, how people are like, oh, they're invading Earth and doing this and doing that. They don't have to invade Earth. They can kill us, or they can come get what they want on Earth without even interacting with us. It's not like anyone's going to run up to the lights or anything, right? When you think of it, I still have thoughts of multidimensional beings interacting. Well, those thoughts, Annette, could actually be your subconscious talking to you. Maybe that's where you travel yourself on astral voyages without even realizing it. A lot of people do astral traveling without actually knowing that they're doing it. I've had the experience of astral traveling, an amazing experience, many experiences, many things that have occurred to me, doing so. And it's not me that was leaving my body. It was happening to me at a young age, before the death of my father and then after the death of my father. Who's outside? Aliens. There's a big truck going by. Hey, later, Peppy. Darla Peppy is in the house. He's a hard worker, Darla. Thanks for stopping by, Peppy Le Pew. Chili pepper shaped noses. Yeah, Kyle, that like you have the same idea as me. Exactly. You know, maybe clipped ears, pinched ears, maybe the eyes really close to each other in the center, or the eyes further apart. Maybe cyclops, you know, maybe they have one eye, you know. I mean, these are all possibilities and things that I would be totally open-minded to accepting. You tell me there's another race on the moon and they're beings, they're not human. They only have one eye and they have no mouths or anything. I'm there now. I'm at that point. I believe they've always existed. They're just not talking about them. But I believe some humans are interacting with aliens, and I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about woken up people. Woke. Let's not say woke. Awake people, because we don't want to be part of the woke. But the people that are awake and subconsciously understanding exactly the possibilities and theories. If you understand the theories and possibilities of what could really be going on outside of Earth or in other multiple dimensions, Annette, I totally believe in that. If not, how the hell could I have interacted with my deceased father? It makes no sense that there would not be any, other dimensions. I really see the universe, Annette, as a bowl of spaghetti with noodles all intertwined amongst inside of one another, like passing and tightening themselves along themselves, making this big rope-like object across the universe, and those would be all the portals. I see it. I can vision it. Portals everywhere, going upwards, downwards, inwards, crossing paths, Some are transparent, some are thicker, some are glowing, some are invisible, and you have all these interacting with each other. An amazingly strong magnetic force that's coming from them, like black holes, like the energy that comes from black holes. Do you have any idea the energy? They say black holes, again, theory, right? Black holes are so strong, the big ones, when they're pulling in, that they bend light. So if there's a light from a certain star that is shining, reflecting outwards, the black hole, being close to the black hole, it's going to deflect that light and pull it into the black hole. So you have amazing quantities of energy in space, exertion of energy. Think of it, protons interacting with each other, like in a nuclear reactor. That's exactly what's going on. They say that there are light particles that are going so fast outwards into space that it's creating so much energy and heat. Think of it, light. That's, we are so far away from understanding everything that's out there. We're just in like the basics, of everything that's really going on out there in space. It's interesting to talk theory, though. Humans are confused with identity. Be grateful you even exist. Yeah, well, that's another way of putting it. And exactly, if we knew in what context that we were here for or put here, we'd probably appreciate our lives a lot more. When you think about it. I believe we are a science project. Now you're talking, Patty. I love that theory. I really, really believe a lot in that theory. I remain open-minded for all theories, though. I'm not going to stay stuck on it, but I really like that one. I'll be honest with you. Religion has divided people. Yep. Not about love, but alienating us against each other. Yeah, it's exactly how it is, right? Laura Kid 23, hello. How do? Nice to see you. No, it's really true, Patty. I believe that we are in a science project, and I believe it's a science project that are always trying to better. And I believe now, high up, listen, the people that have the most control of this earth, y'all, they're like 80, 90 years old, okay? They're on the verge of going out, or unless they take the immortality pill. Where do they go, the elites? Once they get old and retire, do they die? Or do they go through a transition of immortality and become ancients? I had this dream the other day. It was crazy. Every person here, all the elites, once they get really, really old and before they die, they could put them in frozen animation, send them to the moon, because then you're not going to age. Another silly theory. And then bring you on the moon and then reanimate you, give you the immortality pill. And then what will happen? You will start regenerating all your cells and energy in your skin. And, it's possible. I believe that would be almost beautiful to think that would be able to do that to save humans, but that they're not doing it for us. I believe they have the cure to cancer. I know they do, actually. That's been confirmed in many areas. But again, it's areas where people are not confirming. Government doesn't want to confirm that. They must have all those special pills and to keep them going. Immortality pills. It's a thing. That's what they say, immortality pills. Would you want it? I don't know if I'd want it. I do not know if I'd want it. Ed's World in the house. Wish I could watch Bruce, but I have to mow my lawn. Yeah, Floyd, that was my story 2 days ago. Before the rain comes. Yes, I'll be listening. Whoops. We just almost crashed, I think. Happy mowing. Let me scroll back up because now people just popped in. Oh boy. See, it's impossible, you guys, for me to get everyone's message. I'm happy that there's so many messages, but it's screwed up here a little bit. Real quickly, Steve Crawford. Oh yeah. Oh, they're with me, buddy. Lots of trolls. Teresa, be kind. They got my son and I'm livid. Yeah, we see differently on certain things, even in the family. Sometimes somebody can agree with one thing. Hey, Tim Walker. Chaos Hambone is in the house. Aldora Dorota. Nice to see you. Kyle says, where do the web toes come from? Waterworld? Hey, man, it's funny you say that. You almost brought me back to, well, you did. You brought me back to grade 7. What the hell was the name of that story? Because don't forget, they make us read certain things in school. Those are all the elites that are deliberately making us read certain things. It was a story about people that were casted out of a certain land because they were not like the others. They had clipped ears. They had speech impediments. And in that book, oh my gosh, I might be hallucinating, and I can't believe that it's because of what you said. It sparked a certain word. I don't know if it's called the chrysalids. I'm not sure if it's called the chrysalids. I think so. I may be wrong, but anyways, this is way back. In the story, there were people that were called lepers, right? Because they were, deformed, spotted. Some have had webbed feet, and that's what you made me think of the chrysalids. Maybe I'm wrong about the name. And they were cast away to live on an island by themselves because they were not accepted in society because of them being different. Now, you got to wonder why they would show someone in secondary 1, grade 7, that I don't understand. I never understood it. Never understood why we had to learn the religions of other cultures, yet I was not ever able to practice my own religion. Not that I wanted to, but honestly, we're all born in a certain religion. Seems to me the school should talk about those religions now. No, they didn't. And it's very, very regular. I have no shame in talking about religion. I don't care about what people think about my religion. I was born into a family, of Catholics and Protestants. I was Protestant, the girls were Catholics, and that's how it is. Do I believe in God? I believe in what I believe in without ever having believed solely and entirely everything that's written in the Bible. Read between the lines. Bible's a lot about they talk in parables, right? It's like read between the lines sort of thing in the Bible when you read that, and you got some really weird people that just read and do everything word for word that's in the Bible. But reading the Bible and understanding it are two different things. It's going to take me all my life to try to understand that book, but I don't linger on it. I don't stay stuck on it. I have one here, and I don't feel forced to read it. And I don't feel God's going to get mad at me because I didn't. I don't care what he thinks right now. I'm living my life down here. That's the context that I see different from everyone else. While I'm living my life here, I'm not exactly in direct contact with our supposed God yet. But once you cross over, that's when the journey of your life starts. Is this me being a human? Is this part of my journey that I've had and I've been here for a long time? Or was I born a human and now when I die, then I'm going to venture into the dimensions? I think of that all the time. I could talk for hours and ages and days, weeks and months about some of the theories and possibilities of what could be going on. It's endless. There's no two ways about it. Every day somebody can come out with an amazing theory and change and smash what I said. There's always some, whether it be real or not, you think so. So yeah, Steve, we got trolls all the time here. Had some bad attacks yesterday, and they're always attacking. They attacked me on Cindy's live stream. They attack me wherever I go. That's nothing, guys. There's a couple of us here, again, very sad. It'll come out in a couple of days, that are dealing, they're best friends with my trolls. And I would tell you who it is, and 99% of you would say no effing way is that kind individual with the trolls, but they are, and they infiltrate to try to be kind in the community. Some of them contribute, guys. You get some trolls that come here and they even contribute some money and they try to blend in and stuff like that. It's a little sad when you think of it, but it's all part of the show, I guess. Klaus Brandt, hello. Sean is here. I didn't see him. Jensen Dog. It's shocking how much stuff that's on offer to U.S. citizens to take the 2 jab. Yeah, I wonder why. Well said, Jensen Dog. No, man, it makes no sense. All the way from offering ice cream to children. Did you hear about the lottery? Actually, whoa, I think that's in Canada. Very sad. Trudeau, you're such an idiot. Oh, my gosh. A lottery. Win some money if you get the jab. Yep, it's to that point. Get some ice cream. Maybe they're going to come out with get a new lease on a brand new Toyota Corolla for only $90 a month. The government will pay the rest. Just get your jab. Didn't Hitler promise all his soldiers cars, Beetles? Doesn't change. Nothing changes. Only the clothing. The years change. Everything's the same, Yeah. Resonate 432 Nuremberg 2 coming? I'd say yes. And why would they have to? The one states that they're not allowed doing what they're doing. Imagine that. Do you know who guarded the Nuremberg trials, the first trials? I was blown away when I found out the Nazi SS were the ones guarding the Nuremberg. In reality, the Nazis were guarding the trial of the people, which were Nazis, that were going to be killed or brought to jail and stuff. We don't know what went on. Did any of them ever go to jail, or did they take off, like a bird, like a certain bird, like Captain Bird from Antarctica? Funny bird, eh? Birdie, bishky birdie. Dana Shivers in the house. Buttery Dana. Chaos and Bones in the house. Syntholabo. Yo, thanks a lot, bro, for coming by. Chris Gordon, Get Wisdom on YouTube channel. That's what we got to do. Is try to get wisdom. I get a lot of wisdom on YouTube. Some amazing people on YouTube that really do their work, boy, to bring us some amazing knowledge and findings. And I'm happy to get a chance to do it with my own research. I was lucky, actually. Thanks to you all. It just works. Chris Gordon, thanks again, man. Olivier Pierre Le Belmont, where are these trolls? In general, man, I'll never be able to know it, but in general, they're a bit everywhere. Like, I have a hard time saying that, oh, well, they're in the UK because people from the UK are trolls. No, they're hiding themselves. I'll never be able to know. I have some in France. My favorite one, it's the man that dresses up in a dress, officiel bricolateur, Rec la chaîne qui fout rien. He dresses up by having channels, pretending he's a woman and interacting with me on Facebook. A couple of them trying to become girlfriends. They're guys. This is creepy as hell. People are trying to defame me. Listen, do you think it's normal to be on Facebook and all of a sudden a sex chat window pops up for absolutely free and this girl's doing a dance in front of me and stuff like that, not saying anything? What do you think they want? Honestly, what do you think they're doing that for? They want to see me expose myself nude, maybe whack one online so they can get that picture up to try to destroy me. And if you're honest in life, that's the only way they're going to get you out of what you're doing, is blackmailing you. So, nothing else they can do. But a lot of weird stuff that the trolls are doing to try to get into the community. Darla, a couple of you know it. There's a couple here the other day that were causing trouble. Now they're gone. And they're still going at it, doing things and stuff. Poor Darla and some of you, Dana and a whole bunch of you that get attacked afterwards because people blame Darla when I block them or when she blocks them and stuff. Listen, if she's blocking someone, it's because I asked her to, and she knows what she has to look for. That's for sure. It's a big game of Clue here, right? It's just like a game of Clue. Who's the murderer? We'll never know. Speaking of murder, no, I won't talk about it. McAfee, we can't talk about McAfee. Him too, another goner. John Lear's a troll. Be very careful. John Lear's a shit stain that's trying to take down all the UFO channels. He was my mentor, man. And he tried to hack into my computer, he gave out my IP address, my phone number. He did a whole bunch of things and stuff like that. Be very careful with that old leech. There's nothing good about that old little bugger. Very, very bad individual, negative energy. He talks about the moon being a soul machine. John Lear has no telescope. He has no experience in space. And what he's doing, he's making his judgment on what people are showing out there. If he believes there are millions of people on the moon or billions of people on the moon, it's because he's depending on my work and some other findings that NASA would have shown. He has my work on his wall. I hope it still is up there, John, you old bugger. And when you're bad in life, you'll go down as being bad. And when you die, people will be talking about you. Once you're gone, John Lear, I'm not going to stop talking about you. I'm going to remind everybody how much of a shit stain you were and what you did to people in life. When you're bad, when you play with guns and you try to fuck up people's lives, you go down in flames. That's how it is. You're going to go down and burn and crash. And people around you are not going to care. It'll be just a couple days will go by and he'll be forgotten. The godfather of ufology. Yeah, right. Okay. No problem. Ever see him on Project Camelot telling her to F off, telling her to shut up? Very manipulative with women too. One thing I can't stand, if ever I walk into a place, a store, I'll never raise a hand on anyone unless I see a guy smack a woman, then I'll destroy him. That's how it is. People have to stand up for the weak. So yeah, John Lear's a real ass. He knows fuck all. Sorry about his psychotic spiritual machine that he's talking about the moon. John Lear, tell you what, man, he admitted on Project Camelot that there was nothing on the moon. So he's a liar, right? He said that there was something on the moon, and then go look at his last interview when he told Project Camelot to fuck off and to shut up and to listen to him. Very, very rude person. That's what he does. No good, low life loser. And I could say it with a smile. And he's going to regret not having connected with me. We could have done a lot of projects together, John Lear. We would have exposed all the fake UFO channels that were out there by using my 14-inch telescope for free, which I would have sent you all the research and work. I would have allowed you to come to my house because he asked to come to the house. He called me too. I talked to John Lear on the telephone. A lot of people won't believe me. He's the one that connected with me to connect with me for me to be in his contact. And that's what John does. John Lear is a spy, goes around and tries to, find out information about stuff. And then he posts it on his Facebook to 5,000 goons. And aside from that, are you one of them? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. But you go on his Facebook and it's a bunch of bullshit. John Lear's not here to talk about anything aside from the fact that his father left him out of his inheritance, which just tells it all, right? Sean, no problem, Klaus. All is under my name. If you or anyone else have time to look. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was space time, not space and time. No, what do you mean? That doesn't make sense, dude. You could say space time. You could say space and time. But no, it's space and time. Unless you're thinking of, now it's space time with Bruce. No. The space and time continuum. The continuum of space and time. Because space isn't time. So that's why there's an N between the two of them. But maybe people abbreviate it short like that. But space and time. Lorca 23, what's causing the lunar wave? Well, that's basically it. If it's not a ripple in space and time, things are moving around in space, and it's definitely 99.9% the sun that is activating itself. And every time there's explosions or something drastic that happens on the moon, I believe that could happen, and you can get that ripple in space and time because it really looks like it's protons and electrons traveling at a really, really fast speed, causing a bar to push space and time, right? Or space time to push it. And that's what we're seeing. It could be a force field around the moon. And I'm sticking to those because I'm positive it's one of those. It could be a force field around the moon. It could be that something was launched from the moon or something arrived to the moon's surface. And when it did, they went through the water that's between Earth and the moon and caused a ripple effect in the ocean that's around or between Earth and the moon. They talk about the firmament. They talk about the firmament being having water over top and water underneath. When they talk about it, it's in the Bible. As over and under the firmament of the waters of the firmament. So you wonder when you see a ripple. Somebody told me, Bruce, they're seeing a ripple in space and time, or you're seeing a ripple in the firmament because that's the water that's around Earth. So I like that theory, and I think it's makes sense when you think of it. Chris Gordon, I said that. Get Wisdom on YouTube channel. Welcome. Yeah, I really hold it to heart what John Lear did to me. He was trying to destroy me. And it was in a very hard time in my life when I was just starting my research online, and he tried to hold me back and stuff like that. But it's a clash of energies, and John Lear realized it. His friend was sick. His friend even passed away, sorry. He was attacking me too, but that's how it is. I play that way. I play fair. I play with energy. And if somebody's attacking me spiritually or through voodoo, whether you have a voodoo doll and you're sticking stones and stuff like that, or not stones, but sticking needles in my head or something like that, you're not ever going to obtain me. I have a protective shell around me. When my father passed away, something happened at the other side. A light came and protected me. The hell's that? A little angel. A light came and protected me, and it's been protecting me ever since in my life. It's protected me from accidents and some scary things that happened to me where even I was in an accident and I wasn't in the car while it occurred. That's because I believe that I interacted with an alien being or angels. I have no idea. I always thought it was my dad, because a young kid, when he loses his father, every time you see a spirit or a ghost, you assume it's always going to be, your a loved one or something like that. But it could be some bad stuff around us too. I don't know. I had a lot of spiritual encounters that really defy reality. They all defy reality. And but I learned a lot from them. Thanks, Floyd. So much, man. How's it going, brother? Going good, man. The spiritual encounters that I had were scary. They really were scary. But it made me realize that there was something out there. And I believe that I was smart as a kid, I think, to believe that, is that I thought my dad showed me a little part of the other world, just so that I would know that he was in that other world and that there was a real place where I could go and talk to him. It's stupid, eh? Maybe it's the mentality of a kid that puts that in his head because he wants to make it better. He doesn't want to feel the pain of losing a father, which it took me a long time to feel the pain. I think I blocked it out. Blocked it out a lot. It was a tragic death, and it probably took me till about 18 to cry for the first time, I think, of my dad. And I cried so much that it's all out. Some people can talk about the deaths. It helps them. And some people don't, I have a great spiritual connection with some of you very personally that have lost family members. Not going to name the names, but some of you really opened up to me about the deaths in your family and about some really private, secretive things that happened around you. And by opening up to me about that, I guess they felt better. And me, I had some very weird awakenings. It's a lot of weirdness happened in my life about spirits and stuff. Was talking just this week with a family member about a friend in the community that lost a family member that passed away, a child. And, I've been, I saw a light. I saw, a blue flash and blue light and stuff like that. I know no one's going to believe it. And I don't bring it up very often. And for me, it's just a natural thing that occurs. But honestly, I wish I could explain in great detail every spiritual encounter that I had. But be honest with you, most of you are going to just leave the channel probably and not understand much about what's going on. I don't understand it myself, so I don't talk much about it, honestly. Yeah, John Leary talks about the moon. He hasn't talked in a while. He hasn't said a word in a while. I haven't seen him on any. I don't think he'll be doing many more videos. The guy's getting pretty old, eh? Unfortunately, I think he had dementia too, which is part of the reason why I believe that he was manipulating me. The Philadelphia experiment, one of my favorites, my friend. Stephanie Martin, how's it going? Another one in Florida called it a test. The building falling just adds to speculation. Yep. 99 people pancaked. Very sad situation. Those of you who want to look it up, there was an event in Florida 2 days ago. Very, very sad event. They're talking about the construction of the building. They're talking about there was supposed to be a fix done to the support inside of that building. And unfortunately, many people passed away. All of them, I think. Damien G, they found a couple in the rubble, not many though, one person. They're hearing noises banging down inside of the rubble. I prayed for them. Damien G, definitely strange things going on. We live in a crazy world, man. A crazy matrix, I think. It really is crazy. And I am going to have to get off so I don't get you all bored if I want to get the video up between the streams for you all. I can't thank you all enough for the support you give the channel, coming by, taking the time to comment and watching the videos. I love you all so much for it. The waves are likely some form of utility to reset, recharge, revive. A couple people have been saying that, I rage. I love that theory too. Or such in one fell swoop. Exactly. They aren't IMO, a natural event. No, I don't think it's a natural event either. Yeah, big explosion, something going on, activating something in the moon. Well, so guess what, guys? I want to be the first. I hope I'm the first. Probably not. But I'd like to bring up a theory about the waves. What if the lunar waves are earthquakes that we are experiencing, being able to see when there's a shock wave that goes around the moon? Wouldn't that be interesting to be able to see? Maybe there's a cataclysmic event going on the moon like there is here. If we have the moon and Earth geocorona extending thousands of miles past the moon, it could be that some of the effects of climate change that we are having here on Earth, could it not affect the moon? Maybe astronauts are outside of Earth, maybe in the ISS space station, maybe they see that bloody wave going by. I think they would be too close. They're only about 400, 500 kilometers up. But I believe that that's another possibility. It could be earthquakes, the moon shaking inside. And when it shakes, well, you have that major ripple in the water, the envelope that's around the moon. The moon is just like a fetus. I see the moon as being like a baby inside of a mother's womb, inside of her stomach. That's exactly how it is. Maybe in some type of fluid. You know, Crawlface was saying it the other day, and I've mentioned it before too. Some of the nebulae look like they are alive. That's what Crawlface said the other day. He said, who knows? Of course, we're just talking theory. Maybe some of those celestial objects are living beings that we can't understand. We can't see or hear them crying, right? Why do you think we have, you know why we have rain on Earth? Because of one thing, the moon. If not, there wouldn't be any rain falling down to Earth, I don't think. Water being evaporated up would come back down. There's maybe some reality in it and maybe some lie in it, you know. Yeah, John Lear speaks about the moon, all right. And he knows his information because of, I guess, the information he gathers up about people. I gave him his gift before he passes on. He will have had the proof that there's somebody up on the moon. But all of John Lear's surroundings, man, flipped out on me and got really pissed off at me for my theories, right? It was a compliment. John Lear said I was the next Copernicus. I mean, he was infatuated when I found the structuring, and he knows that they're friggin' real. That's the difference. I think he was humbled. He humbled himself and shut up, not telling his peers exactly what he thinks, because there's too much, you know, bad feedback from the people around him. There's jealousy. It's really sad. Say to yourself, most of the ones looking for truth, the minute they see someone else show it, they'll diss them, which is disgusting. Mark my words. When somebody has a 14-inch telescope like Christopher Rollins and comes up with a finding better than me, I will be spreading it like wildfire. But he doesn't need me to spread like wildfire. And anyways, nobody wants me to spread their work. I can't spread my own. So best off not to depend on me to spread your work around. Carol Muffet Carol, thank you. You remember the V? And thanks for being members, you guys and gals. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, I remember the V too. I loved it. It was a cool idea, eh? They were eating the mice, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah. Used to keep them in the fridge. But But the idea is there of the older movies and stuff. They were really trying to tell us a heads up about what's to come, I believe. It was the best show, Gabber Beast TV. I loved it. You could still look at them, like they're on YouTube. And when I went back to look at some of the episodes, I was mortified. Actually, I was scared on many incidents where they talk about things that supposedly occurred in the movie. In reality, it's shit that's going on today. It's scary stuff. Wanda watched it also. Rob. Hello, Rob. Yeah, the V. Darren S is in the house. That's why I believe who is on the moon is us. Darren S. Yeah, you could very well be right. It's a big possibility. So think of it. It's only normal that if there's another human civilization there, well, the elites there would know about it. So yeah, maybe some astronauts would try to land on the far side of the moon. Look at us. If somebody comes down here, an alien, and lands in Antarctica, you're going to see them. Somebody lands in the Mojave Desert, you're going to see them. No, the Earth is big enough for them to come down and land here and there, wherever the hell they want to land. I'm pretty sure they don't have to come down to the surface with a light on, right? Maybe the lights that we're seeing are just camouflage. Missy L, she remembers the V. Live, excellent. Yeah, that was an excellent. Patty, shout out to Patty's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Patty. Hope you have an amazing birthday. I'll try to stick in an extra capture for you in the video. There you go, Jensen Dog. Absolutely. Freddy Krueger was in there. Yeah, he was the cook, right? He was the cook. Hey, man. I had forgotten about that one. I don't remember what his name was, but he was the kind. Funny. Freddy Krueger in the V was the kind alien. He played a whole bunch of different shows, He did Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, with his little claws, which every kid back then, I remember when I was younger, we all wanted to have the Freddie Mercury. Sorry, Freddy Krueger. I want to break free. They're doing that right now. I believe that it's in progress. That's what I believe. There's a whole bunch of stuff in progress. Disclosure has already been released to Hollywood elite. Yes, they drip feed us. Klaus, you're absolutely, or Klaus, you're absolutely right. Mr. Brandt. The disclosure's coming out. They're talking about a lot of things. They told us that the Tic Tacs have been around for 70 plus years. They told us that they didn't know if it was an outside or foreign threat or if it was an outside threat from aliens. So whether it be true or not, they still are talking. We can't say, there's no two ways about it. They still are telling us a lot of things that obviously they don't want to tell us. CIA being dismantled, FBI is being watched and stuff like that. The US government is completely upside down. It seems that everyone is all of a sudden, does it make any sense? White people telling white people that they're trash? Come on, guys. Do you not find that not normal? All of a sudden, the white people in the States are telling people that the whiteness, disgusting. The person that even thought of that or brought that up is effing so racist. Live and let live. Appreciate all cultures. If somebody goes to jail for killing someone, talk about the person's character and judgment and judge him for his character. Don't judge him for his bloody color. I can't believe it. I don't believe people are still doing that. Honestly, I swear to God, I shouldn't, and I won't. But I believe that that's just somebody that's racist is because he wants to do harm. He doesn't even think they're different. He just doesn't want to see anything that's not like him, you know? But are only whites racist? That's stupid. That's very stupid. Would I dare say which one is more racist? No. because it's impossible to know. Texan Rattlesnake. Hey, thank you, man. To you and the family, man, your family, for watching in, bro. Thank you so, so much, man, for the support, the contributions, and the help, brother. Really appreciate it. I still live of bubble gum. Yeah, so I agree with that, Klaus. Disclosure has definitely already gone by. Thanks again, man. Tony Brooks, the 33 Club, Bruce. Yep. Yep. Know all about it. No, I'm not part of the club. Yeah, it's men's only, I think, Walt Disney sort of kind of club. The 33 Club. I even know how much it costs you per year. Cost a lot. All part of the fraternity, eh? Fungus can take over ants and snails, control over movement. Cicadas covered in fungus will mate in zombie state. That's interesting. Yeah. Listen, there's lots of stuff that's going on, okay, that people are not understanding. A lot of stuff is going on that people are not understanding. And I want it all to come out. I think it is. Muffet Carol says, the V, too close to true? Yeah, I think so. I think it is too close to the truth. But like Steve said, they're doing that right now. Everything's being, I believe it too. It's going on right now, definitely. So, ladies and gents, I will be on this evening at 8 o'clock for you all. And now I'm going to get an amazing video up for you. We're going back, the mouse-eating reptilian. Yeah, exactly, Adam. Think of it. A mouse-eating reptilian. And then people are, look at today, all the theories about the reptilians and everything. You got to wonder. You really got to wonder. And once in a while, you got to admit, we all get an urge to just like scoop up a fly at one point, right? No? I don't know. I have an urge. Tongue snaps out and goes and gets something on the screen. Have any of you ever pushed a fly through a screen without killing it? Just curious. Can't help but think that V was a hint to us all. I think it was, Tim. The film 1984. Every single film that they mentioned the New World Order in, or series that go by on TV. A series I had mentioned last time. It was I never get it right. It's Barney Miller. Yeah, that's what it is. The Barney Miller show talked about the New World Order, talked about somebody taking over and it's going to, genetically change everything to the human genetic code. So all those, Adam and everybody, I believe that they really are, it really is the truth. And the ones that know it can know it and speak about it, but they can't make these big channels and explain everything to everybody like Alex Jones is doing, right? In reality, Alex Jones he's definitely a martyr. He's the one that's caught in exposing everything. For sure, it's a good thing that he's doing so. AA Arizona audit is going to be something incredible. And for those of you who don't know, the election was manipulated, the one in the States. And what are you all going to do when Trump winds up president in August? The spice must flow. Yes, exactly. Extra is a 1983 British science fiction horror film directed by Harry Bromley Davenport. Thanks for sharing, Ralph. A lot of people talk about stuff in the movies. Definitely. Moon is known as King in Sumerian tablets. Yeah, Kingu. Yes, I had seen that too. That's interesting, eh? King, right? The newborn king. Yeah. Codes and patterns, man. It tells it all. If those of you who are good seeing patterns and codes and reading between the lines, you're going to know everything that's going on. Alan Nordstrand, thank you very much. Denmark's in the house. Thanks, man. Sorry I missed you, Alan. Can't help but think that V was a hint to us all. Yeah, I read that. Tim, I agree with that. 100%. Like in Leo DiNardo. What the hell's wrong with me? Leo DiNardo. That would have been funny that I kept that going. You know Leo DiNardo? Leonardo da Vinci. Also, they said that he hid secrets in his work. There's lots of meanings and hidden messages and meanings that are in paintings. Obviously, the ones with the biggest messages and meanings, the governments rounded them up. And they would have that where, let me think. You must agree with me that the moon would have one hell of a museum, right? How they got there, maybe a type of alien beings that are there. They're going to show an image or wax figures of all people. You walk in on the moon, there's a Jimmy Kimmel wax figure. You know that. Maybe a David Letterman wax figure or something. You got to wonder. You really got to wonder. What the hell, Hawking's brain in the space station? Yeah, exactly. Why would it be in the space station? They brought it up there with his entire genetic code all on a disc. And don't forget, Bereshit, India. They supposedly crash landed Bereshit on the moon, but inside of there, they had tardigrades. Why would they have tardigrades in there? Living organisms. And it was crashed on the moon either deliberately, just theory, speculatively speaking, and they said, India, that they would have survived the crash. And then I remember India writing, oh no, we just crashed living organisms on the moon. Could this be dangerous? What a sham, right? What a big sham. What they're telling us on the news. Look at CNN. Would you want to work at CNN? I wouldn't want to work there for $1 million a year. I'd be afraid of being beaten up or getting my house robbed because these people are so evil at CNN, telling lies. How come they're doing it? Everyone's doing it. CTV, CBC, Global News. I can name a whole shitload of them. It's easier to name the ones that are telling some truth. Fox are telling truth. Tucker and everything. There was even a problem at Fox. Did you see that? One of the female reporters, she said that she was told to shut up and not talk about, always the same reason, always the same stupid thing we can't talk about. That's what they weren't allowed to talk about. So even in the good media, there's a control from the elites trying to hush and silence everybody. Be happy, though, because the elites are afraid of us. They are terrified of us. Man with two brains. There you go. Tell me there's not a man on earth that does not have two brains. Could you imagine, everything that they would have or be holding in a secret scientific lab, the experiments that they would be doing? I saw experiments on YouTube in 1947. That's the year, Roswell, that right? That they were experimenting on a dog, which the dog was deceased. Actually, he was alive. They put him to sleep. They killed it in a civil way, right? The head removed and connected all the, breathing tube, everything, the veins and the blood stream connected to a little machine that wasn't bigger than a coffee cup that would turn and pump the blood through the system of severed head of the dog. The dog was able to speak, not speak like, hey, guys, but he was able to bark, make sound, and it was reacting to smelling sauces and stuff like that, and vinegars and stuff like that, was just reacting like some object that was alive. So long story short, imagine how they could be manipulating us, testing us. You're going to tell me they didn't try to rip one of our heads off and go to space with it and do some tests up there without anybody knowing? Of course. It's a bit scary because it's sort of like demonic because we're playing with the creation of God. If you look at it, no matter how you think of it, whether you're a believer or not, it's still scary. Would you take the chance to manipulate something that possibly a God would have created? I don't think I would have taken a chance. Excuse me. Bill, thanks a lot, Bill. Thanks, brother. Thanks a lot, man, for the ongoing support. It means a lot, you guys. Thanks again. Leonard Simmons, the ideal is to keep us all confused. 100% agree with that, my friend. And confused with each other. Yes. This way they can make more laws so we can turn over our rights. Well, you are witnessing exactly what's going on, and you're exactly right, Mr. Simmons, with what you said about that. Also, the confusion between each other is also another goal that they're trying to do. Make the blacks hate the whites, make the whites hate the blacks. Why? Because I think we were doing pretty good. You know, you're always going to get a white racist person. You're always going to get a black racist person. It doesn't have anything to do with the color. Sure, there can be a race that's more racist than the other. Are you going to be the one to try and confirm that? I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, right? I believe there's good, and if there's good in all evil, that means even evil races would have good and people with good intentions in it. Even bad people have some good intentions, right? You have to be good and not just evil. If you were just pure evil, what would you do? You'd beat up everyone in the world and you'd finish off by ripping your own head off, right? So yes, the way they created humans, I believe it was deliberately. Everything is deliberate about the way they created humans. They made you have pain and sensors at the end of your the feelings in your fingers and everything, all the receptory things going to your brain that you feel sensations and heat and warm and cold, and you feel sad emotion. That there means that we're under control. No human can endure remaining stable and keeping their emotions stable for all events. It's impossible. No matter how tough you are or believe that you are, there's an event or a certain word or a sentence or an idea, a thought or a fear that's going to scare you and destroy your every wish. We all have fears inside. I've worked all my life combating my fears, and I still do. I work every day to try to do so, and that's what people should do. Try to better themselves all the time. But the ideal is to confuse us all and to turn over our rights. That was well said. So yes, example. Oh my gosh, look at all the mayhem in the streets. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to send in the National Guard. There's a plan, right? They can plant idiots there with their own flags protesting. It could be the government themselves. Get the National Guard in there. Then when the National Guard is there, president turns around and he declares a national emergency. He declares, a cataclysmic event and cataclysmic times, catastrophes in the States. So that way he now has an ample amount of extra funding into the billions and billions of dollars. And that's what his last budget plan of $6-7 billion. So that's what they do. It's all to manipulate the money and stuff like that. So they have to enter fear in our minds, right? That's why there's fear in the Bible. That's why there's fear in a parent when they try to scare their kids not to do something dangerous. You could have died. Sometimes we go a bit further to try to scare them. Well, it's the same thing. The government are like our parents. We just have very, very corrupt parents that are very, they abuse us. If the governments would be considered parents, they'd be considered abusive, is what I see it. And don't ever forget that you're always allowed your opinion. And the government knows that it doesn't change anything what I think. So it shouldn't be their right to take down what I'm saying, right? When the government start taking away our thoughts out of our heads, it's when we have to stand up. Definitely have to stand up. I'm not aggressive. It has nothing to do with aggressivity. It is an effing law in Canada. And in the States and other countries that we're allowed to protest. No matter what the government's going to say, we're allowed to protest. But the government made up their own laws now. So the protesters are getting round up and going to be abused in jail, whatever, manipulated, beaten, whatever. And then, believe me, if you don't think that that's happening around here in Montreal or in the States, that cops and stuff like that are this corruption going on inside of the cells, there definitely is. But you know what? There's one thing that I haven't mentioned enough here, and it's that the police officers that are there, because you got to assume a police officer is a police officer because he wants to better the world and help, right? That's the positive way of seeing it. So most police officers are exceptional people. And that's the way I want them to be presented, like the military soldiers. Because sometimes I start talking about the police, how they're corrupt. And I only realized at one point that I have a lot of police officers following me, and I want to express myself better now. When I talk about China being corrupt, it's not China that's corrupt, it's the government. I'm not putting those people there in the same basket, even though they're all mind controlled. But that's just my opinion, you know. Tesla called Einstein a curly-haired madman. Yeah, imagine. Hey, Tesla called him that. Imagine. Which apparently I think he was. I think he was a madman. We don't know the real story, right? Tesla, the story with Thomas Edison. Tesla got all his patents stolen by Thomas Edison. It was a race. General Electric Company, and there was a race. He had problems with his generators, Edison, and he hired Tesla to fix hundreds or thousands of generators. And when he fixed them, he said, I'm not going to give you a bloody cent. He had promised him $50,000. That was a story. I mean, you got to think of it. This guy wound up deceased, died in New York in a city in an apartment with no money in his pockets, but I think 1 penny exactly that was in his pocket. So they say. Aliens look cute. Yeah, they could be. They could be. They're ugly buggers like that, though. I wouldn't want them to look like that, boy. I'd be laughing at their heads all the time. You wouldn't want to see a hat on them, eh? Look really stupid. Like, you know, the hats like the young kids wear with the straight palette there and the big Walkmans on their ears. God, they look crazy. Imagine teen aliens with Walkmans. Oh my God, did I just say Walkman? Do any of you remember what Walkmans are? One person said, why the hell do they call them Walkmans? Walk, man. That's all you're doing with it. It's like walkie-talkie. I'm walkie and I'm talkie. Me using walkie-talkie. I'm walking and I'm talking. Walkie-talkie. There's a comedian that talked about that, said, who the hell was inventing things in the military and whipping up the names, you know, of silly things like walkie-talkie. Imagine this covert mission where they have this secretive spy agent that he's trying to make this communication device, and he makes it and he presents it to the elites, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the walkie-talkie. I thought it was so retarded. Maybe it has nothing to do with anything, but anyways, just in my head. MK Ultra's here. Just a suggestion. Check your thumbnail again from about 6 feet away or so. I can't go 6 feet from my thumbnail. Okay, thumbnail. Just a suggestion. Check your thumbnail again from about 6 feet away or so. I will. But thumbnail of what? The thumbnail of this one? You mean my face? I look like a skull, eh? Is that what you're gonna say? Because I noticed I looked like a skull from farther out. I like skulls. My nickname's Scully. Einstein invented the refrigerator as we know it. Yeah, they invented a lot of things. This from a kid who couldn't speak till the age of, I don't know what, 4 or something like that. And then when he was able to speak, he invented the compass. Okay. Definitely a secret project, that guy. He was dumb. He wasn't even good in math. And you know what? He wasn't good because he couldn't understand the explanation of the way they were explaining him to do math. So the guy, instead of being a moron, he created his own bloody mathematical equations and ways of calculating. You'd be sure he didn't calculate like everybody else. There was a certain way to him, around him. Looks are deceiving. Oh, yes. Looks are really deceiving. Wise for wear. Einstein is a crackpot with a bag of bumping particles. Yeah, well said. Well said. I have a painting of him here. Definitely a part of the curiosity of my story when I started my journey. Courtney James, hello. Much love to you too. Thank you very much. So MK Ultra says to check my thumbnail from 6 feet away. I will do that. Hook it up for Elon Musk neurochip. Yeah. Definitely. I got my hole in my head ready here, right here. I dug out. I used the Dremel. Imagine cutting out a piece of your bone in your skull. Imagine being at the doctors when they're doing that, and you know they're going to connect you to a freaking computer. Sorry, I'm out. Don't want to have any of those connections to me, boy. The less the government knows about people, the better we will live. Same here, Courtney James. Wife is an empath. Me, I am a big empath. Son of Max, father of plenty. Look good, Bruce. You just keep it real. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dana Shiver, Darla, and everyone for coming by. Perhaps another breed of humans on the moon, human genetics altered. Darren S., it's as simple as that, man. I believe it's possible. And I believe that they're trying to change us, and they probably made a race that was actually really good, but very different to humans. So they kept them there. You could imagine that sometimes they bring them down here. Why is it once in a while they present to us this intelligent person that does these amazing things, and then they die, and they tell us a story about them, like Tesla, you know? You can be sure they probably kept his brain too. Definitely sure about it. I know they kept his patents. I believe that. Think all the geniuses like Einstein and movie directors and producers like George Lucas are astral travelers without realizing it, and create and produce their dreams. I think there's more reasoning in that than you probably think. Well, you probably know, actually. Absolutely, Andrew L. I agree with you, man. Maybe they know a lot, and that's why they want to, that's how come they have so much passion in making videos and, all these different things that people are doing. And Chloroform's Goods here. Muffet Carol, thank you very much. Fat Belly. Did I show my belly? What up, Bruce? Love all your hard work. Keep it up. Thank you very much, True Soldier. Thanks. That means a lot, my friend. I concur, Fat Belly. You guys talking about me? The space shuttle would land on runway 33. Yeah, very important number. You want to laugh? My bus run was run 33 when I started on my bus run. What if disclosure is about aliens that live in our buttholes? Well, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't even doubt that. To be honest with you. I would not doubt that. So like Beavis. Yeah, it's a butthole. Ancient folks were whacked. The stuff they came up with is a trip. Hey, listen, Thundermine, that's damn true. And we can see that evidence today by looking at some of the videos and some of the creations. If you've ever looked at an old newspaper to see some of the moronic things that they were trying to sell, better your mind, better your eyes, better your nose, better your health, with all these poisons that we're pumping into you with lead, and let's go. I mean, it's crazy. Definitely crazy. Can't believe humans would wish to emulate such idiots that destroyed their own world with hard hearts. Yep. We can't emulate Good Ballery, a good Ballery, a goof ballery. That's well said. Absolutely, Thundermine. Yeah, they came up with some pretty stupid stuff. I have some old clippings from some old newspapers. The one when they first landed on the moon, you should see what they're selling. It's absolutely crazy what they're, and this bogus description of what the product does and what you could do with it. Don't forget, they were showing ladies smoking cigarettes, and they had them, the prettiest of ladies, looking beautiful like that with the cigarettes and stuff like that, to try to get people to get involved in buying it. It's an idea for money. Like the pandemic was, it's the same thing as everything that's on the market. Oh, clocks. Oh, wow. People will be able to hold time, and it's something that they're going to have because everyone's late. So they give us that technology. And then those are the little technologies that we have, little basic technologies. If I told you there was more letters in the alphabet than the 26 that we know about, how would that change things? If there's more that we could write, if there's more expressive ways of expressing each other, it would be. How do you think it would be if we had the most amazing language to be able to describe anything in great details and proportions? It means that we would be so bloody smart, and people would be able to express so many things. Like now, when I'm trying to Sinks a lot. Hello. Trying to talk about all this, you got to come up with your own ideas. You use knowledge that you know about. Like we try to compare, like they did back in the days in the first UFO report, where they compared it to a teapot. They said the UFO looked like a teapot. Somebody said that's so stupid. No, it's not stupid. Teapots were everywhere, and they had so many different shapes and stuff. We're going back to a long time ago there. Today, when somebody says, what did the UFO look like? It looks like a saucer shape. It's funny, we're still using the friggin' tea, right? Maybe aliens are inventors of tea. Maybe that's the secret. They're bringing tea to Earth. Another tea party on its way. Maybe the lunar wave is to block communications. Darren S. Yeah, you're in my head for that, bro. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. A wave that's going around, blocking out any information, or stopping people from being able to listen to what's being said on Earth, on the moon, and on Earth. Imagine being able to have audio and to hear on the surface and in the buildings and everything. They must have some of those techniques for sure, some of those devices and everything. It's crazy stuff. JD Lee, hello. Hello, JD. Thanks for coming by, guys. So I am going to go get that video up for you all, because you're going to be wanting. I've been saying goodbye for the past half an hour. Rename the tall whites non-vertically challenged pigmented beings. That's well said. They got no balls, no genitals. I mean, I don't know. Weird when you think of it. They're definitely not the ones raping humans. Sorry. We are all people of the universe. Yep. Every one of us, we're of God's creation, is how I look at it. Wiser for the wearer. Dochuck, how's it going? Fat Belly, I officially renamed the tall whites non-vertically challenged pigmented beings, and I just read that. People are forming watch parties that use meditation, and some have had craft appear. Tony Brooks, absolutely, it's what I do. String theory, yes, Rob. Yep. It's what I try to do, Tony. Absolutely, to have a how can we call it? Maybe a certain vocabulary, a certain communication way of being able to communicate. Son of Mac's father, I do not see him. Thanks, Darla. Good thing Darla says hello to people, because I wouldn't see them half the time. Yeah, some other bad news about in the community. Your likes are being taken off, y'all. I'm doing a test, everybody, with family members and friends that are doing tests, going to see the videos, trying to like, dislike, telling me what's happening. And when you come back to the video and you give it a like, can some of you just do a little test and notice the number that's there? Say if it says 109. If it says 99 views and you give it a like, it should go to 100. But it's not for a lot of people. And then when you there's one person that took the like off and it went to 98. So that means some people coming here by liking my video is giving me not a thumbs down, but is taking off 2 of the thumbs up, which makes no sense. Thumbs up, by the way, don't forget that. Even though it could do the opposite, it doesn't matter. André Obi-Wan, le corps et l'esprit d'eux. Hello, Bruce. Salut à toi, mon frère. Merci d'être revenu. Some people have to be awoke to be awake. Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of people are going to wake up. It's a rude awakening for many people. We are all aliens. Even the Bible says we live in the world, but are not of the world. We are out of this world. Damn right. Well said, Patty. Are you trying to blow my cover here on Earth, Bruce? Sorry, Floyd. I'll take it down a notch. So yeah, I can't thank you all enough. Fat belly, you talking about the alien? I don't know. I'm the only one with the fat belly. So every time somebody says fat belly, that's what I'm feeling aimed. I wish I was that fat, boy. Simi Free. Hello. 1111. Yes, exactly. 222, 333. Yeah. Power numbers, my friend. The levels of the Masons, even though people, not everybody knows the Masons goes over 33 levels either. Some people, when they wake up, you get deeper, you find out that the Masons is only just touching the base of all the fraternities. It is scary. Yeah, that's true. Like Gabber Beast TV says, the weirder the aliens look, the cuter the alien is. It's true. Look weird as hell. So if aliens look like us, well, we're screwed. We'll never know the difference. Ever see people here on Earth walk by and you go, look at their... I'm serious what I'm going to ask you right now. I'm seeing it. I'm not going to say they're aliens, but it's creepy as hell that every town has this... For me, so far, it's only been women there. These women that I see with these big effing eyeballs, big like friggin' horse eyes, okay? Like hentai eyes, this big ass eye. And you see them. This is one newswoman on the news, she does that. So to make a long story short, not because I'm saying they're aliens, but I'm saying if aliens had a difference, they would probably go unnoticed. And, you know, they'd be interacting here on Earth, doing a whole bunch of things. The secret projects that are going on is concerning me. I think we're being enslaved. And that's the thing, is that I hope someday, some way, somehow, we will be free. Try not to imitate what Martin Luther King said, but yeah, that we would be free at one point, and that humans will stop being enslaved when the elites and the shadow government is taken over. I believe it's in the process now of taking over the shadow government. For the first time, we are beating the devil, ladies and gentlemen, but it may take a good couple of years, many years. Be watching for that Arizona audit. It's going to blow. It's going to make so many stupid people come out of the woodworks like maggots. You have CNN, MSNBC. You're going to have CBC, ABC, CBS, all these bullcrap things will be complaining about Trump, because that is the sole agenda of all news medias, is to shit on MAGA for some reason. I never understood that. I really, really never understood that. You know, I have a MAGA hat here. Did you know that? I ordered one. Should I finish off in the MAGA hat? Will that piss off some trolls? Could be existing in marble dangling from a cat's neck. Wanda, I don't even find that funny. I find it realistic. I always said, imagine if we were on God's arm inside of one of his hairs that's about to fall out in a couple of days. But the days are so long for us. Those are theories that wake people's minds up. It's not crazy. The ones that think that way are not crazy. They're the smart ones. I assure you. Stephen Hawking with a medical miracle yes, he was. Decades with ALS. Find another that lived as long. Stephanie Martin, you're absolutely right, and no one did. Nobody did live as long. So I see these people as, secret projects. Imagine making him in a body that not even being able to walk. He had everything for him in reality. He seemed like an amazing man, but he was, a teacher in the utmost, renowned universities, and he was well known. He had some message warnings for us before he passed away too, and yeah. And they don't care about how they die, either old age or World War III. Yeah, World War III is coming. When a black hole bends light, it also bends time. Steve, nice. Absolutely. Yes. So it's like the universe is continually in a time machine. And as long as that black hole, for example, Steve, because now we're on the same wavelength for sure, is pulling in and dragging energy and stuff like that, well, that's what keeps all the portals opened up in the universe. I can only imagine if there was another big bang and things exploded and stuff, what would happen. I believe that's when all the portals were created. There must have been an extraordinary amount of energy. And I mean, like, talking quantities that we couldn't even imagine per square millimeter, the thrust of energy per square millimeter when the Big Bang happened. Imagine that. If there are otherworldly species, wouldn't that make us the aliens? Now you got it. That's right. We are the aliens. And don't forget, we could be the ones that are manipulating the other planets that have beings on them. We could be the ones that are bringing them here and changing their DNA to try to create a better being. Or obviously you'd think, right? For sickness reasons, if we see another being, maybe there's something in their metabolism or their DNA that could stop us from having the flu or stop us from, developing diseases or cancers and stuff like that. It's pretty trippy. Harp is reopened up and they're doing more stuff once again, sending frequencies and electromagnetic crap up into the air. So let's notice and take notice once again, if there are more animals and groups of animals that are going to die. I believe this was all research done by Harp. So 100% believe that. What do you think of all the monoliths that popped up? They seem to be ignored. That's another thing. Before I get off, I'll talk about that one. You're right about that one. Two white hats. That could be Rob about McAfee. Honestly, I hope so, and that would have protected him. Yeah. McAfee, for those of you who don't know what went on or anything, well, he supposedly took his life. But McAfee security on the computers is what all of us, at one point, some of us went into it. And the long story short, McAfee was looking at the government. So when he made the antivirus McAfee, he was spying on the government, and he found out everything they were doing. And that's why we have a lot of whistleblowers these days that are leaking out the information. So there you go, government. We beat you. And the whistleblowers came out and stuff like that. And they stood up, and they're going to bring all the shit that they're doing out, because they're manipulating everyone and everything. They're enslaving the world. So that fight, I don't know how long it's going to go on, but it's going to go on for a long time. Yugster78, thanks again. You're right about him too. It's a very touchy subject. I'm not talking about it. He had a tattoo here, a $sign that said whacked on his arm. I know all about McAfee. And he said that he would not take his life. And apparently is what they're saying he did. What a great Friday talk. I'm so into. Thank you, Annette. This was great, Annette. But it's great because of you all, though. And I thanks for bringing up the subjects, for contributing to that a lot. Vegetable, and someone was talking through him. Yukster78, you said, you took the words out of my mouth, is what I wanted to say, is that I'm not going to change what you said. It's exactly what you said. It could be just a puppet himself. Absolutely. Scary stuff. Well said. It was a strange theory that Hawkins had been replaced. Weird stuff that. Lorca23, thank you for bringing that up too. It is exciting. So now I'm happy to see that some of you are in the same context as me. Hold on for that. I didn't think some of you thought a certain thing. So you must understand that. Do you believe that some of the people that are alive here that are running the world are puppets and they're controlled in a way, like you say, Stephen Hawkins, who can't even walk, can't even do anything, and or talk, that he's just sitting there smiling, could be the government using him literally as, a puppet. When you think of it, it'd be sad, it'd be scary, but it just makes so much bloody sense that could occur. Theories sometimes are not pleasant to think of. Sometimes truth can be morbid. Truth can be upsetting. But me, I'm all for truth. And when I found out that there was someone on the moon, I got scared in many ways because I saw the positive side. I saw the negative side of what could be on the moon. Listen, it's scary, children are missing here on Earth all the time. You can't help but wonder if some humans were brought to the moon to have some experimental DNA experiments done on them, human experiments, maybe slaves, workers that are needed on the moon. Who's running the moon? Is it Earth? Is it the elites? Or are the elites against the moon? Is the moon going to invade Earth? Did Earth invade the moon and bring already people here? So there's lots of theories and scenarios that we can go through. It's as interesting as hell to talk about them, though. It's really amazing. And I thank you all for bringing up all the different ideas and everything that you guys and gals bring to the channel too. And you are all due for a video now. So I got the full moon video coming up. I'm going to add some research done on the surface again. For those of you who didn't see them, we got vehicles flying around the moon spreading smoke. We have more than one type of vehicle. They're rectangles. They look like Tic Tacs. They're on the moon and they're spraying over craters. When they spray over the craters, once they spray, we see little lights appear underneath. What I showed you that looks like a little point of light that lets out a little circle of smoke on the moon, say to yourself, it's many miles wide. So that puff of smoke that I show you is not just a little smoke behind some flying aircraft. How could we see something over the moon have smoke coming out of it? If they're not using gas propellants or fuel or whatever, jet fuel, diesel, I don't care, whatever they're using, they could be trying to spray the moon to hide and smoke the surface. So if there's an airport where they're going to have 100 launches of UFOs on the moon, they will have people spraying over top of those craters for the time that the launch will occur to be able to hide the surface. And when you zoom up like I do, and I was able to see the lights, you still can't prove what they are. So they're still protecting themselves. But are they hiding? They're not hiding at all. They're not hiding on the moon whatsoever. Yeah, the voice is getting out there. So into thin air. Hello. Yo. Oh, disappeared. Damn it. How crazy was the moon last night? Double wave. Big one just as it was rising also. Yeah, absolutely. Me, it wasn't rising. The wave, it was more when it was setting. Because it was in the eastern sky. And did you all notice that last night or the day before last night, our moon never rose very high in the sky for 2 days, and it set in the south? Have you ever seen the moon set in the south? It did yesterday and the day before. More and more turning around. The next day, this morning, I wasn't up early. I was a lazy ass this morning. I went to bed at 4 this morning, and I got up around 11. Imagine. Bit late, but the sun, I didn't notice where it was because 2 days ago the sun was beaming through my bathroom window, which that never happens. I was sitting down on the bowl in the sun and I was like, what the hell with the music? Ooh, felt like a god on my throne with all the, anyways, change the subject. So yeah, the light was coming into the side of the house and it usually comes into the front of the house. So that difference of area where the moon went down in the east, here's the funny part. It didn't go far enough. So that means the sun, the reason why the sun was right there and not right there is the same amount that it moved over the day before was the amount missing for the sunrise. So when the moon is offset, the sun's offset in the morning. I've been saying it for years, and now I'm seeing the proof of it. Literally, the moon came up the other day, like in the front. It was totally out of the normal area of where it was, but it didn't rise. It stayed low, and it went up a little bit and then went right back down in the south. Over there, that's the States. That is USA South, and that is exactly where the moon went down. So I saw the moon go down in the south. It's that shift, where things are changing. And Bruce says, if they can't manipulating you into being their mouthpiece, they will turn you into a vegetable. Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe it. There's many ways. Clones, Pam Ben. Yeah. Hey, Pam. Hey, Sharon. Welcome. My Surya-more. My Surya-more. Many replaced. They're all replaced. Yep. I agree with that too. Bruce, be careful. Don't piss too many people off. Stay safe. Oh, absolutely. No, exactly. I'm not here to take down any association. I'm here to express what I see on the moon. I hope other people will understand and believe what's going on. And I'm not going to bend anyone's arm. I mean, you could keep believing the system. The system could be handy for certain things. I use everything to my advantage. I use the system for me. The system's there for us, not the other way around. So, yeah, the Florida building, that's crazy stuff, right? Reminds me of September 11th, fortunately. Many replaced. Oh, yes. So thanks, everybody, for coming by. Christy Lindsay. Dang, just missed you. I saw a light here the other day, Christy. A beautiful flash. I've been talking a lot with a certain individual. Hey, Sharon, Gene, thank you so much. I appreciate that for saying I'm dead on. And I appreciate your opinion. I know some people think I'm way off, but I believe basically that's what's going on. The beautiful thing is that when we pass on, life doesn't end. Yes, cloaking, my Surya-more. Yes, I believe it's a cloaking over the moon, the lunar wave. But yeah, life goes on. Obladi oblada. And when people leave this plane, for some reason, they still remain connected and can come back to it. It's sort of a beautiful thing at the same time, even though we lose a loved one. Some of us can see energy and feel energy a lot more, but that wave footage of the moon was amazing, Bruce. Davy85, thank you so much for appreciating it. It was amazing, and I'm happy that some of you have appreciated it as much as me. Listen, Crow777 had a beautiful channel, did a lot of research online. I don't know him that well, but I know he had the most amazing lunar wave video from way back. He was doing that before I even had a telescope, Crow. But now we're talking about today. I was able to capture 2. That means there are more reoccurring, and it wasn't even the same angle as what he showed it. So we had some people saying, well, it's fake. Okay, it doesn't matter, guys. You can think what you want. I hope it is fake, actually. But it's not, unfortunately. Christians are attacking me because of my beliefs. Which ones, Glenn? Well, I'm sure they're not all attacking you, because I know some Christians. Protestant. I'm Protestant. Isn't that a branch of Christianity? Who cares? Yeah, I think it has nothing to do with religion, Glenn. It's probably mostly the trolls and the assholes that seem to be always, acadated. Yes, Obama. Yeah, dead ringer. Niall Stex. There's another son of a gun. Try to destroy America. 1 for yes, 2 for no. That's good coding. That's how I usually go. Yeah, Shern, you said it. Shern Jean, my dear friend. There's always someone that wants to play God. And how can I say it? The countries, the rulers of the countries are like children. They want to be the top, right? They want to run the markets and the trade, and they want to be the number one exporters and importers and whatever. I mean, this is basically how we are. We don't live in a system that's made for us to get along. Really is not. Why the hell would there be different cultures and beliefs? Well, because there's freedom of speech. Okay. Well, why not just leave it at that? I mean, that's what I'd leave it at, you know? Am I going to read the Quran? No, because I'm not going to start killing white people to make them Muslim, right? It's all in the books, guys. When somebody comes on and talks about the Quran or talks about the Bible and says something and someone's insulted, most of the time the people are telling the truth. It's written. Why are people getting mad with what's written in the friggin' Bible? I talk to religious people a lot, and they get mad at me when I repeat what's in the Bible. Why is that? Oh, we don't read that. What were you reading? Maccabees. Oh, no, don't read the Maccabees. Maccabees is no good. We don't read that. It's in the bloody Bible. Why? Because they lie, they change. Oh, that's no more good, they say. Yeah, right. Bull crap. I think I just saw a contribution, but it disappeared. How sad is that? So do any of you see the contributions that are on the page? They're all disappeared. They just all disappeared. Every single name. I don't see one of them. I don't see the ones that contributed. The contributions disappeared on the page. Not one's there. I'm scrolling all the way up and all the way down. JT Callie's all the way up, number 1. I didn't even know he was there. JT Callie, thank you very much for being here, my friend. I'm sorry I missed you. Pong playing smoothie eating ape. Yeah. Yeah. That has the Neuralink. Disgusting, man. It's creepy as hell. The Giants were the first attempt to alter our DNA. There you go, Niall Stex. I love where this conversation is going, guys. You guys are all smart. We're all in the same wavelength, aren't we? Lisbeth O'Neill. Walkman. Hell yeah, I remember. 1 hour later. Sorry for answering you an hour later. Had to go back up. Eric Redding's here. I've also heard that of Trump's uncle. Yes, true. John Trump. He certainly did. He was a physicist for the FBI. Yeah, that's right. Lord Kid 23. A lot of people don't know that. Oh, he is coming back. Oh, give me a second. I got to try this. I never do. Hope I don't get in trouble from my community. No, that looks bad, actually. I'm going to put that there. There you go. Full-time sakes. Full-time sakes. To give some sort of that, you know why I got that hat, guys? Because I want to see USA happy. And I want all Americans to have the president they want. And I want Americans to have the right to keep their guns, to have good police officers on the streets for you all. USA helped me form this channel, and every one of you from the States, Quebec and many other places, but in general, when it started out here, I had a lot of American friends that came to the house, and that's, you know, I have a lot of love for USA. I got my Statue of Liberty right there. I got my MAGA hat right there. You know, try to support the States in a way, but so much problems. You know how many problems it cost me by showing this hat? Do you know how many problems I got with people? Death threats because I showed a MAGA hat? Get over it. Stupid ass trolls. Ridiculous. 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 Picture of ET playing ping pong inside Comet Pizza Plan in DC. That's a good one. All the giants had red hair. That's interesting, eh, Rob? So why red hair? Is that another manipulation in the DNA that they did? Did we all have just white hair and now we all have black, red, blonde? All the stories when I was younger, and they used to tell me, well, whoever told me that Hitler wanted to create the perfect race of blondes with blue eyes. And here it turns out we're the ones doing it. Because that's what's being done right now, I believe. I'm going to have to get off at one point, eh? For real there. Yes, me too, Darla. Let's eat. I am hungry too. I'm off, everybody. Thanks for the contributions. I'm going to go get a video up for you right now in a couple hours. You know it's not going to be up before the stream. It always happens to me every time. I'm going to try some full moon. And I'll try to keep it short and sweet for you all. Yeah, Patty. That one, it was a couple of years ago, actually. I bought that guy. He was, I bought him at an auction. He was a slave. And I paid about, I think it was $300, if I'm not mistaken. But he's life size, foam, the bendable head and everything, you know. I'll say like the trolls said, no, it's not a sex doll, but no, he has no genitals. So it's definitely not a sex doll. How do you like his hands? You see how low they go? Later all, the weekend is calling. Yes, and I will be on in a couple of hours. We're almost 4 o'clock. I didn't stay on for 3 hours, did I? Are you serious? All right, well, I'll be on in 4 more hours around 8 o'clock, and I'll be getting that video up between them, and if not, right after. So I'll see you all then. Yeah, why, Wanda? Every time you will come here, you will get a good laugh. We have a lot of funny guys here, you know. Crazy Bruce in the room. Is there a Crazy Bruce here? Or you're talking about my crazy ass? Refined sugar poison for the Matrix. Yeah, a lot of you are really awake, though. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised at a lot of you are really, 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 really understanding or at the same places where I am for whatever the reason. It's pretty cool. Space is water. There's a smart channel name. Yes, I believe it. They made 240 volts in England, so kettles would boil faster in the old days. How bonkers is that? You see, the technology is there. They had the technology to show the television, right? But it was too interesting to have the radio first because just that was amazing. Then the black and white television. And then they got bored of the black and white, so they started making bigger screens. And now what they're working on is that everything that was big is now made to be small. So they're continually manipulating us. Every friggin' day that we have an update on Google or that they change your AdSense or they change YouTube features, why do they do that all the time? One day you'll go on Facebook and write hello there, but in a couple of weeks you'll be writing hello there. Why? Why do they do that? You sign in right there, but in 2 weeks, they're going to change it and make you sign in there and say hello there. And then they'll switch it. You'll say hello and sign in there. Why are they doing that? It's easy. It's to mix. It's freaking confuse us is what I see. Because I sure am confused. Doesn't take much for me. But anyways, talk to you all soon. But you can't burn a pride flag. That's true, Resonate 432, what you just said. That it's okay to burn a flag, but not a pride one. But the U.S. one, yeah, sure. And that's what people are doing. I saw a lot of Americans that you guys and gals have flags outside in your homes. We're not allowed here. We're not allowed to be patriotic. Too bad. But the opposite's happening. People burning the flag, the U.S. flag. What the frig? Because that's not Americans. You're not going to tell me Americans are going to start burning down flags and causing problems to associations. It's not true. Americans are not going to destroy their friggin' country. It's infiltrated migrants and infiltrated spies, people that are paid to do protests, whether it comes from Hillary's account or Joe Biden's account, the senile old bugger. They're doing crap like that. The ideal is pay. What would I do if they come over here and tell me we're going to give you $6 million and you're going to shut your mouth or we're going to kill you? I won't have a choice but to stop and, and to go on. But it hasn't happened yet. So I'm still here. I didn't get any millions of dollars, and I was never offered any amount and or anything to shut my mouth. So they just ignore me. So good sign. I'll still be able to continue on. And yes, Darla, I'm leaving. Bye, everyone.